Hello and welcome to our virtual technology class on Hoopla Digital. Before we get started, I'll just wait for a second for people to connect, and then we'll go ahead and get going. In the meantime, I will talk a little bit about what Hoopla Digital is and what you can use it on and what you can use it for. So I'm using one of the library's iPads that we have here, and you can use it on the Hoopla app on a bunch of different tablets and smartphones. Most Android and Apple tablets should be able to run it no problem. Most smartphones should also be able to use it. There is a Hoopla Digital website, which you can find on the Franklin Public Library website under Books and More. I showed that in a previous technology class. The one drawback with the website is a big feature of Hoopla is that you can download items to your device, but you cannot download them on computers more often than not. So you can use that to browse items, but I would recommend getting a mobile device to actually use Hoopla Digital. Another common question we get with Hoopla is, can my Kindle run it? And in most cases, no. I think some of the newest Kindle Fire tablets can run Hoopla Digital, but if you have a standard Kindle or an older device, if it doesn't have the app in the App Store, unfortunately, you can't use Hoopla with it. But most phones and tablets should be able to run the Hoopla app, and you can look for that in your device's App Store. So I'm already signed in here on one of the library accounts. But to sign up for Hoopla, you will need your library card number and PIN. You will also need a valid email address. When you're signing up for Hoopla Digital, you will need to put in your residency. It'll make you choose a specific library. For some of our other things, you select Milwaukee County. But for Hoopla, you need your residency. So if you live in Franklin, select Franklin. If you visit the Franklin Library but live nearby, like in Greendale or Hales Corners or Oak Creek, you have to select that library. So that's one of the common sign-up issues we see with Hoopla is people go to one library, they think of that as their library, they might work by it, their kids might go to school near that library, but if you don't live in that city, it won't work. It'll give you an error. Occasionally, we run into the issue where you moved last year, you now live in Franklin, you select Franklin, but your library account was never updated. So if you're having trouble signing up for Hoopla, give us a call and we can look into those common issues for you. But most often than not, you sign up with no problem. Just make sure to get that location correct. So I previewed this in a past Tech Tips. Hoopla Digital is a really, really cool database. It has eBooks, audiobooks, music, and movies. And it also has a lot of other stuff like comic books as well. So let's get into it. There's a lot to cover. So what I'm on right now is the home page. You can see that down in the lower left corner here. It says My Hoopla, and this is where it'll show if you have anything borrowed, it'll show up right here. You can see I don't have anything checked out right now, and it says you can borrow 4 more titles this month. The Hoopla database, you get to check out 4 items per month, and after that it will reset at the beginning of next month. So we do have a couple days left in November, so you could check out 4 titles now, and then December 1st you'll get 4 titles to check out for all of December. Because I don't have anything checked out, You see here it says browse video, browse music, and browse books. And down here, previously borrowed, I have a copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone audiobook. So this will show your complete history. And I think that's all we have, yeah. That's all we have checked out here. So that's a really nice feature. If you remember, oh, I listened to that audiobook, or I watched a movie on Hoopla, I can't remember the name. It does save your history, which is really nice if you want to watch it again, read something again, or just want to know the title. So this is the majority of the Hoopla page is seeing what you have checked out, what you haven't, and then the options along this bottom bar. Two other things on here, or three other things. There's a favorites tab where you can favorite things. I don't have anything favorited, so let's go back to Harry Potter. I'll favorite that. And I did that by clicking the little heart icon. See, it's unfavorited. When I click it, it becomes red, and now it's favorited. So now if I go to my favorites, hasn't shown up yet, but that's where it would be. So that's kind of, I use that as a bookmark of things that I want to read or listen to or watch. I save them as my favorites, so I remember what they are. Another option up here is, it says kids off, and if you tap it, it might be hard to see on the screen, but it now says kids on. So now that the kids on is turned on, it will limit the content of the app. So if you have children, you can limit what they can see on the app if you're afraid that they're going to check something out that they shouldn't be. And you can just tap it on and off. So if you do have cards for your children and you want them to be able to check out items, as a parent, you can choose to limit that, limit the collection down. The last thing on here is this little settings cogwheel, and that will bring up your settings. Here's another option for kids mode. You can change recommendation settings. So a little bit later, there will be a recommended tab, and that pulls things from what you've already checked out, but you can also go in here and select topics of eBooks, of music, of movies, and it will give you better recommendations. So if you know you love books about art or crafts and hobbies, or humor, you can select those and it'll give you more personalized recommendations. Right here under personal settings, you can click in there and you can change. This is where then you would be able to change your password. And here, download only on Wi-Fi. That's something if you're downloading items but don't want to use your cellular data accidentally, you can click download only on Wi-Fi, and then it will only download if you're on Wi-Fi. You can also hide your history, and then right here is password, so you can change your password if needed. Library settings. So I'm currently registered with the Franklin Public Library, and here's the library card number and PIN. So if you do get kicked out of the app, you can go back into that library settings, re-input your card and PIN, and that should fix most issues. Notification settings, you can check to see if you get email notifications. So some things that they send are, if it's near the end of the month and you still have borrows left, they'll give you an email and say, hey, you can still check some stuff out, things like that. But they don't give too many notifications, which is good. And then the last one is link a streaming device. So you can link some streaming devices. I'm not entirely sure which devices have it. It changes which ones have the ability or not. So I don't want to say for sure in this video in case somebody down the line watches it. But if you do have some streaming devices like a smart TV, or they make devices like the Amazon Fire Stick, the Roku streaming box, things like that, they may have a Hoopla Digital App. And then this is how you would then connect the app to your streaming device if you want to watch movies on a bigger screen. And then the last option is to log out. So if you're working on a shared device, you can log someone else out and log into your account. So those are all the settings. So now let's get down to how to use the app. So down here, this is that little home bar. My Hoopla is all the way to the left. The next one over is video. So this main page, there are a couple options here. You can select movies or television up at the top. You can filter items, you can sort them, and then right here there are a couple different displays. So this one up at the top is just a rotating display of different collections, and then down below it they have 3 tabs here. So popular, and it will show you items that are popular, meaning that they have a high number of checkouts. There's a recommended tab. So that's what I was telling about before. Because I haven't checked anything out and haven't set my recommendation settings, there's nothing here, or not a lot here. So they're just kind of making a guess. There's not a whole lot recommended. But as you check items out, or if you fill out those recommendation settings, it will show you what materials they have that you might enjoy. And then the last one is featured. So here are TV shows that they are featuring. So these will change as well based on a variety of factors, what they have in the collection, as well as if they get anything new, if something starts trending that's really popular, things like that. And before I get too far, I should say the Hoopla Digital Collection changes all the time. So some things that you see might be on there one month and not the next. Sometimes they'll add new materials. So something that wasn't there before is now there. So it's definitely worthwhile checking and rechecking. I think they do it every month. If they add anything, it will be in there the first of the month. So now let's say here's Isles of the Queen. I'm not really sure what that is, but let's investigate. So when you click on the picture of it, it brings you to a page that tells you a little description of what it is. And then they show the individual episodes. And you can see I can click borrow right there. And it does give a little description of it. It has the season number, episode number, length. And to borrow it, you just click borrow. I won't do that now. We'll hold off for a little bit. Here there is a rating system. You can rate it 0 to 5 stars. Here's that favorite button I was telling you about. Let's favorite that so I can show you later. And that's pretty much it. And everything will have a page like this where you can see, okay, so it's season 1, but you do need to check out each episode individually. So each one of those episodes will count as one checkout. So this season is 5 episodes long. So I could check out 4 episodes this month, and then I would have to wait until next month to check out that 5th episode. If you keep scrolling down, they have a bunch of data and links here. So there's part 1, Isles of the Queen series, published by Dreamscape Media. They have cast listings, directors, and then down here they have similar titles. So these you can all click on. So if you really like, if you're watching a movie, you really like an actor, you can click on the actor's name and see what else Hoopla has by them. If you really like the director, you could click on the director's name. Let's do that. And so this is the only thing directed by this director in Hoopla. And then they do have similar titles, so Dreamscape is similar. These are audiobooks, actually. So this is helpful to find things that you might also like. So let's go back. So that was the television, and again up here you can click movies. If you're looking for something in particular, you can always go down to this bar here. Search is the very last option. And you can search for a specific artist, title, or series. And this is for all materials. So this would search for any videos, music, or books from your search term. And the last thing I want to cover here is genres. So you can actually click on that and click on a specific genre. So here's documentary. Let's click that and see all documentary titles. So now I've gone into everything that's classified as a documentary. So if you're looking for a documentary, here you go. You can find all that. All right, so now let's move over to music. So right off the bat, it should look very similar to the movies. And this is intentional. It's supposed to look pretty similar. Up here you can see it's just music. There's no other option, whereas with video there was movies and television. We got the little carousel that displays different things. And then we have the popular, recommended, and featured tabs. Here you do see some of them have a little red PA. I believe that is the parental advisory sticker. So here's one, Holly Dolly Christmas. And same thing here. Here's that page that I was talking about where you can see more information about it. I don't think I covered it with the videos, but here it says the title is available for 7 days. So there's your loan term, and these return automatically. So there's no need to worry about any overdue fees or anything like that. They'll just disappear from your device at the date. So unlike the TV shows, this one is one whole album, and you can just click borrow, and it will borrow the whole thing. Here you can see it has a 4.1 star rating from 15 reviews. I'll favorite this one as well to start filling up that favorites tab. And then down below you can see here are the artists that are on it. So Dolly Parton, obviously, but she also has Miley Cyrus, Michael Bublé, and a couple other artists as well. And this will be a better one to show you. I could click on Dolly Parton, and I can see everything that Hoopla has about Dolly Parton. So there are ebooks, music, movies, and there are probably some audiobooks as well. Same thing here. Down here there are similar artists, and I can click on one of these artists, and again I'll see everything that artist has on Hoopla. So this is a great way to find things that you like that you might not know are on the Hoopla service. And that's pretty much it for music. Again, it's very similar to that videos tab. And let's move on to books. And it looks very similar as well. So we have audiobooks. Up here we also have comic books. And we also have ebooks. So if you're not familiar, ebooks are just electronic copies of books. We have comic books, which will be the full color comic books to read. We also have audiobooks. Here's a popular one, Queen's Gambit. You can see it's a Netflix original series, but here's the audiobook of it. On the audiobooks, you can see it has the length, so 11 hours, 51 minutes. This title is available for 21 days. And this is where it starts getting important. Should have talked about it on the music as well. But this little warning says, or paragraph says 21 days it's available. And it's available for streaming and downloading mobile devices only. So what that means is when I click borrow, and I'll actually borrow this one to show you the process, it pops up, this title is available for 21 days. This title is available for streaming and downloading. Are you sure you want to borrow this? Yes, and I'll click borrow. If you made a mistake, this is where then you could click cancel. But let's check this one out. Borrowing title. Not now. Okay, so now it says play. Down here, it says this title automatically returns Tuesday, December 15th at 2:21 p.m. And then right here, download to your device. So this is then, if you're going on vacation or you want to listen to the audiobook while you're walking, or read an ebook if you're on an airplane, or someone's driving you in your car, you can download it to your device, and then it'll be stored there, so you won't need to worry about having cell phone service. So I'm going to click that. And I really like this. I think it's really neat. As it downloads, you can see that image went away, but as it's downloading, the cover image starts revealing itself, and then it'll get all the way down. And you can see here the status, downloading, tap to cancel. When that's complete, it will say this title has been downloaded to your device, and then you can use it offline. So this is where it's important to start using mobile devices. You can do all of this on a computer, but like that paragraph said, it's only on mobile devices that you can download it. So if you want to take it to go, you have to do it on a mobile device. It will not work on your computer to download the file. And as I was kind of saying while I was waiting for people to start logging in or watching the video, it should work with most smartphones and tablets. You can search your app store on your device and it should show up. If it doesn't, unfortunately, you probably can't get Hoopla Digital on that device. So this is still downloading, and I'll scroll down. Here you can see, here's a description of what it's about. It's written by Walter Tevis. You can see the narrator. Some people love narrators in audiobooks and will listen to anything by them because they like their voice so much. You can also see similar artists, and should be almost done finishing downloading. There it goes. So now it says there's a little check mark. This title is downloaded. Tap to delete. So now I downloaded it. I can listen to it on the go. I don't need to have an internet connection at all, and I can still listen to it. If you don't download it, you'll have to stream it. So you'll need an internet connection to listen to it. And if you're not in Wi-Fi, it will use cellular data. So I highly recommend downloading things in Wi-Fi and then using them after that. Once you download things, they do take up space. So you can tap to delete and it will delete it off of your device. And you can also return it early. Again, you don't have to. On Tuesday, December 15th at 2:21 p.m., it will automatically return. And then the next time I open up Hoopla, I won't be able to listen to it anymore, and it will be taken off of my device. So let's do another one. Here's The Dutch House by Patchett. This one's super high in demand. This is also an audiobook. And if we scroll down, you can see here are similar artists. I think they mean to say similar authors. And let's check out some eBooks. Oh, here's The Queen's Gambit again. And here are a whole bunch of things. As you can see, there are books for adults, there are books for children, there are books for people in between. Here's The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which has been very popular since it came out. So you could download that today. They have classic books, they have new books. Here's a Leanne Moriarty book. Those are always very popular whenever they come out. I'll favorite that. So there is a lot here. Same thing with the audiobooks. You can see here they have 400 pages because this is an ebook. It was published in 2010. They have the little description. So I really like Hoopla because it's so similar in all the different topics or different types of materials. So the books looks very similar to the music, looks very similar to the videos. So it's a really easy to use app. It's really easy to find things. You can browse through all these. Like I said before, you can click search and you can search for specific artists, titles, or series. And over here, just to wrap up, here's that My Hoopla tab again. So now you can see I checked this item out. You can see it returns in 20 days. I can click on the little play symbol. And this is the first time
Blackstone Publishing presents.
So it will play out here, the volume way up. Let's turn that down a little bit. You can play it, you can skip forward. Some books have chapters, same thing with the ebooks, it will show chapters. You can change the playback speed. It's a really great app, I really, really like it. You can see here, you can borrow 3 more titles this month. Let's go to the favorites tab. I favorited some stuff. I don't know why it's not showing up. Wonder if I need to go out and back in. Let's close it to show you. So here's the little loading screen for Hoopla Digital. But it's a really great service we offer. Here are those favorites. So now I've favorited some stuff and it breaks it out between audiobooks, ebooks, television, music, movies, everything. So you can see there's the music. And you can kind of use that as a bookmark system to save things for later. There's a whole lot to do in this app. There's a ton of great stuff. Like I said, you get 4 checkouts a month. It'll display up here. I have 3 more because I checked something out. And it's totally free to use. So I recommend trying it out, exploring the app. If you check stuff out, there's no overdue fees, so you don't need to worry about that. Yeah, so try it out. If you have any questions, you can always call or visit us at the library, and we'll try and help you out as much as possible. I hope you learned something good today, and I hope you try out Hoopla Digital soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.